I'm so excited for the Pickleball Charity Challenge. Everybody's been working so hard for so long. And this is the very first one. The very first Pickleball Charity Challenge. It's gonna be awesome.
Getting a healthy, positive message out to young people.
Yeah.
What would you say?
It's
to
not
them?
out here. It starts right here. Once you get this in line, take care of you. Forget about the world and what you go, oh, if I got the right jeans on, I got this, and then no. You take care of you. And if you're okay and you're centered and you're happy with who you are, then you can go out in the world. And then that mental health is gonna take care of your physical health. I think it's all in one.
What's one tip you would give to everybody to stay in shape?
It's a counterintuitive tip would be get enough sleep. Make sure you sleep well. If you sleep well, everything else in your day will go better and you'll just be healthier in general. It's easier to make good choices eating if you're fully rested.
What's one thing that you would want the younger generations to know about health?
Lift early, lift often. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
People
Build
need to be in
muscle.
the gym, add muscle. I'm not talking about being all big. I'm just talking about developing the muscles that you have and getting into the consistent habit of doing that. You do that early, it'll make your life so much better.
You look at some of the kids in that generation where sometimes, even did it with my kids, sometimes you overparent instead of letting them fix the situation and do it, it's fixed for them and it doesn't help them. There's been a lot of kids that I've seen with more talent than me, but it's hard work and sacrifice. And I think that's one of the biggest challenges because there's no shortcuts to that. So if you're not willing to put the work in, if you're not willing to make the little sacrifices you need, whatever that is, you're not going to do it. If we were to say, okay, I've got to give advice to this athlete, like, hey, you got to work harder to get what you want, it's probably too late. If I'm telling you and you don't understand that, if it's not instilled in you, it doesn't mean you have to run the farthest or run the hardest, but you have to maximize yourself to get everything out of what you can. In the game, my thoughts weren't, okay, I'm going to go entertain the crowd. I'm going to go and do this. My thoughts is, nobody on the field is going to outwork me. And if nobody's on the field is going to outwork me, good things are going to happen. Because to be honest, when I had the ball, I had no idea what I was going to do with it. So I thought, if I don't know what I'm doing it, the defender's got no chance of knowing what I'm going to do.
Okay.
So, basic theories like that, but I always went out on the field and not to be outworked.
It just comes down to how you're training. Everyone could train a lot of hours. Everyone can train 3-4 hours a day, but if the quality of your training or the quality of your drill practices are low, you're never going to get better. So I'd say when I drill, I always go in with a focus. I always have something in mind I'm working on. And then if I'm not executing that on that day, I'm going to keep doing it until I know I can do it.
Football's the ultimate team game. There's no one person who has success on their own, but it takes each and every person from the top, from the quarterback down to the practice squad players to achieve a goal. And that's the one thing that I always cherish. I always relied on my teammates for success.
What are the toughest 6 inches in football? And they always go at the goal line when you're trying to get. I said, no, it's the 6 inches between your ears. Because ultimately, we're our own worst enemy sometimes in terms of our confidence, self-talk, in terms of things we say, of being successful in life as well as in athletics and sport, is to have that positive mental attitude and to focus on that mental toughness. I don't know if you saw the Netflix feature with Arnold Schwarzenegger, a little bit about his life. And that's one thing that really stuck with me. He said there was a lot of times where I didn't want to go to the gym, I didn't want to lift weights, I didn't want to train. He said, but I didn't think about it too much. He said, I just got up and I did it. And by doing it, my mindset changed. And I think that's half the time we talk ourselves out of things. His point was, just go do it, and you'll be happy for it, right? And that's been my experience as well.
I always work out every day, so I always did that every day, work out. Most of the guys that I hung around, we always work out anyway. So that's where we mostly stayed fit and stayed always ready. You eat a lot of fruit, it gives you a lot of energy. So that's what I normally do, eat a lot of fruit. So before I go off to work, I always get up early enough to exercise.
On the day that you don't feel like doing it?
When I don't feel like doing it, I still do it.
Okay.
Because you can't do that. To keep the body going. If you want to live long, you got to exercise to keep the body going. And you got to eat right and put good nutrients into the body.
I can see that people that do play, say, pickleball, oftentimes I'm off by 15 to 20 years when I'm guessing their age. Because they're like 75, 80, but they look 60s. And I'm not even, trying to kind of fluff them or anything. It's just really saying, hey, they actually look really good because they're playing 4 or 5 times a week. And I think about pickleball is you can play like 4 hours a day. And I'm sure you've probably seen in your local courts that there are other people that play a lot of times a day. And I think with any sort of physical activity, it's hard to start, right? It's like running a marathon. It's hard to start and you can't go from 0 to 100. But I think once you start, you almost need it to go about your day as part of your routine.
I think the beauty of this game is that it's so accessible to so many different kinds of people in terms of their athletic background, and so many different kinds of people in terms of their strengths and weaknesses as a player and as an athlete. It brings the best of so many sports in together, taking the hand-eye coordination from some of the racket sports that we might be more familiar with, taking the speed and agility from some of the field sports that many have played before, and bringing it all together in a space that's a little bit more manageable and still a ton of fun. I think the proximity of the players being so close to one another lends itself to more social play and more of the social interactions and the fun banter that you would have between good friends and good athletes playing across from one another. So I think it has a lot to offer a huge variety of athletes, which is why it's actually so popular.
First and foremost, what I tell a lot of people is go out and have fun. And don't take yourself too seriously. Oversights and bad things can happen on the court, but at the end of the day, I like to keep it in perspective. I'm active, I'm on court, I'm having fun, I'm laughing with my friends, and it's that fun factor that I think keeps people coming back. It keeps people young at heart. No matter what age you are, you can enjoy this sport.
I think Trevor Linden was an amazing leader. Loved just how he kind of organized things off the ice for the team to be all together. I really felt a part of something in Vancouver.
They're helping this city, they're helping this province, this country. They're making a difference in the world. And it's a lot of the same people.
Let's go, baby. The Pickleball Charity Challenge.